There's a mystery afoot, so grab the Scooby snacks and let's get to work. A pool at a Quality Inn has been mysteriously turning green 12 separate times. This isn't how God intended. This is not natural. They suspect this is intentional sabotage at this particular Quality Inn, but when authorities check the surveillance camera footage, they find no evidence of any culprits going to the scene of the crime or anything like that. How is that possible? Are they being attacked by an invisible man? Is this a situation out of The Happening where the plants are fighting back and they're responsible for the pool turning green 12 times? What's the motive? And most importantly, who really is behind it? It's very clear that there is a supervillain loose here, and only I'm qualified to crack this case and get to the bottom of it. When it comes to mysteries, I'm like L from Death Note. I figured out what happened to D.B. Cooper. I even solved the mystery of who shit in my pants when I went to Halloween Horror Nights in middle school. There's nothing I can't solve given enough time. But luckily in this case I didn't need to. In fact, the authorities pieced the puzzle together and it is so fucking wacky I can't wait to share it with you.
Cops pull up to a shocking sight. A pool where the water has turned neon green.
What in the world? What is that?
Sandra Woolston, the co-owner of this Quality Inn and Suites in New Jersey, was baffled when her motel pool mysteriously turned from clear water to this.
The voiceover for this one makes it sound like an old infomercial. Turned from clear water to this! Ew! But luckily with OxyClean, we got it right back to a clear blue. I don't know why he's, exaggerating all of the statements in this manner, with his intonation, but it's really enjoyable. It makes it, even more gripping, in my opinion. But anyway, that's the story in a nutshell. This Quality Inn, for some reason, keeps having their pool turn green. And the only way to fix that is for them to keep draining the pool, which is extremely expensive.
I watched it turn green in front of my eyes.
Somebody is sabotaging my pool. My pool is yellow as my guests can go inside the pool.
I broke down. I didn't know what to do because with all these kids waiting to use the pool, but they couldn't go in.
The pool had to be drained and refilled with clean water. 2 days later,
the vandalist is back again. Our pool is green as a grass.
It happened a total of 12 times.
So either this place is cursed where they've built it on top of a Hulk burial ground and he's getting his revenge by turning the pool green with gamma radiation, or there really is a practical jokester that's really taken a liking to turning this pool green for some reason. That's all the information we have to work with so far. There are some more clues we'll get to in a moment, but let's start to piece together potential narratives together as a thought experiment. Perhaps whoever is responsible for sabotaging this is a previous guest at the Quality Inn who recently had a negative experience with that pool. Now, if I was on scene during this investigation with my monocle, magnifying glass, and pipe that I was smoking, the first thing I would ask would be if I could have access to the guest registry over the last couple of weeks, and if there'd been any reports of complaints from the guests about the pool. Assuming, of course, the Quality Inn keeps records on their complaints, it would give me a narrower list of suspects that I could focus on. I'd then set up an interview with each name on that list, and I'd do a little game of good cop, bad cop, where I'd be the bad cop and the good cop would come in with a soda from McDonald's. I'd invite them to drink the soda. When they take a sip, I would then inform them that what they just consumed was truth serum, which means they could no longer lie. Then I'd finally finish it off with the brain buster, the most important question: did you do it? And then I'd gauge their response from there.
This is every damn day, man! Look at the pool!
That's neon yellow color.
It was just, and the entire pool was engulfed.
What was turning the pool green? Here was the first clue. An object she found at the bottom of the pool.
I'll be honest, that object looks like some kind of extraterrestrial being. If you put a picture of that object on the r/alien subreddit, they would gobble that shit up as true evidence of an alien brainstem or something. That would give me no clues here. I'd start really thinking paranormal about this. Oh, maybe there's not a person behind this. Maybe it's a cryptid or something. I don't know what the fuck that is. That looks disgusting. Whatever that is. It must be whatever turns the pool green. Some kind of dissolvable mesh or some shit maybe that, distributes the green dye to the rest of the pool. But yeah, that shit is yucky.
But when police reviewed the motel surveillance video, they found nothing suspicious. Here's Stephen Fabian.
So how did the pool turn green? Well, cops say the culprit used a drone like this to hover over his target before releasing a concentrated packet of dye.
The dye is actually a life-saving device used for ocean rescues.
When they broke the magician's code and revealed how this was most likely done, it blew my tiny little brain. I realized at that moment I would never cut it as a detective trying to piece together a complicated case. That whole idea never even crossed my noodle as a possibility. That the reason someone didn't show up on surveillance camera yet the pool still turned green was because it was transported via drone outside of the security camera's, field of view. That would have never been something I thought of. That is actually so devious. It's admittedly a pretty clever plan here because then the actual person responsible for it is a long distance away from the scene of the crime, so there's not a ton of breadcrumbs to follow. This is one of those galaxy brain maneuvers that you see fictional villains do in media. But somehow, the cops did catch him. So I'm not only impressed by the method they used here in order to distribute the green dye to the pool, but also the fact that they got caught.
So, who do police say was behind the attacks? They arrested 45-year-old Patrick Spina, who owns a heating and air conditioning business close to the motel. The motive? Cops say he's a prankster. He didn't have much to say when we caught up with him.
There he is, that scoundrel. So, they've got him. Apparently, I will say that they didn't do a great job of explaining how they really connected him to this. So apparently he owns a business nearby, but when I first heard that, I thought it'd be like, oh, it must be a competing business and this is his way of sabotaging a competitor, trying to take them out of business or financially harm them. But apparently they believe the motive is genuinely him just being a quirky little jokester. I also needed to dig a bit deeper in here to figure out how exactly they connected this drone to this individual. So apparently they had spotted it over the Quality Inn on September 1st and then just followed it back to where he was and then arrested him. So they did catch him red-handed with his hand in the cookie jar here, but the motive of just being a prankster is incomprehensible to me because this is not a prank. This is a dozen times. This is just genuine vandalism and trying to ruin that business. Because it's super expensive to keep fixing that. Not only did they have to keep draining the pool and refilling it, but now they're going to have to refinish it too, since the green dye is harmful to the pool as well. So the frequency and all of that makes it seem like it's not really a joke, because what's the ha-ha moment? It's just this fucking goofball. There's no way he's treating this like a joke. There had to be a deeper motive to it that I don't think is pranks. Though I guess I could be totally wrong here, since pranks in the modern age are just legitimate degeneracy and actual just harming people half the time. So maybe it is possible that this is just his idea of what a prank is, but it really took a big toll on the motel's owner because it is super expensive.
I just hope that this bonehead paid for what he did and he never ever do anything this dumb and so stupid to impact other people's livelihood.
The suspect is charged with criminal mischief and faces fines as much as $30,000. The hotel owner says that prank cost her at least $20,000.
Yeah, so the mystery has been solved. He is facing a charge for this and hopefully will be responsible for paying for all the damages caused to the motel. A happy ending here, but what a wild little adventure to go on because, again, I don't know how you'd ever really piece this one together if you never saw the drone in the surveillance camera or anything. They must have just got lucky that they saw the drone over the Quality Inn at one point and then just followed it back to home base. Yeah, so now we can comfortably close the books on the mysterious case of the pool turning green. Just wanted to share that with all of you. That's about it. See ya.